Hi, welcome to Phenomenon with Tonia. I'm back today and I have a very special guest today. I'm excited. She came in the door excited, so I'm excited. She's making me excited. So what we have here is Miss Nakeetsha Dryer. She deals with personal finances. I call her the debt-free lady. She tells me that, I deal with finances and I want people to manage their finances more than anything. But I'm interested today in talking about debt. So today I'm going to introduce my friend. She's a part of my Fab Five, Miss Nakeetsha Dryer. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Tonia. I'm excited to be here. This is my topic. I love to help people get their finances together. I'm known in the marketplace as the net worth navigator because I help people navigate their way to a debt-free, fabulous life.
Now that's a good, say that again, the net worth navigator.
Helping you navigate your way to a debt-free, fabulous life.
All right. Yeah. I like it. I like it. So we're going to begin today talking about what it means to be free. What it means to be free. People have their different definitions of freedom.
That's true.
But money, as the Bible say, I'll quote a little bit of verse out of it, be a little preacher for today. It says, money answers all things. So anybody that don't believe me, they can go to Ecclesiastes 10, I believe. But, you can Google it. But I think money is something that is a stronghold on our minds.
Yes.
I think that it interferes with not only mentally, but our physical body. So let's talk about that a little bit. What do you think about that?
Well, that's a good topic because as well as helping people with personal finance, I am a psychiatric nurse practitioner.
That's right.
And that is where I got my start. I would see people come in and they would tell me that they were depressed, and later, to get to the bottom of the issue, I found that people were looking for a remedy for their depression, but the root of their issue were their finances. And so I said to them, after seeing this over and over, I said, there is a remedy to what you're looking for, but it's not a remedy just to the symptoms. You have to have a remedy to your debt, but unfortunately, that remedy starts with you. And that's where my book came from.
Okay, we're going to talk about your book a little bit later on and have people to go and download it and things like that. But I want to talk to you about, I know that you're a psychiatric nurse and a lot of people kind of steer away from that, but I love that because even in a professional environment, you have stressful situations.
Yes.
And a lot of times when you walk into stressful situations on the job or even in family, it kind of spills out to those other people.
Yeah.
So I think that you having that background as well as the financial wherewithal to help push people, I want you to talk a little bit about you and kind of, what happened to you and your background and how you got to be where you are.
Sure. So for me, I found myself, I don't know how else to put it, but trying to live the American dream, trying to keep up with the Joneses. I had always seen how my family and people had things, and I thought that was my goal, that should be our goal. So after I got married, as fast as I could, I tried to get all the things that I seen around me, and we did. And when we did, we bought a house within a year of being married, which I think is a mistake for anybody. You need to be trying to continue to date your spouse and know what you have going on before you jump into things like that. But we jumped right in and we bought our first home and we got some new cars. We just had it all. We put my daughter into private school, and I thought, we made it. Everybody thought it. I mean, everybody was happy and so proud. But I'll tell you, Tonia, we weren't sleeping at night because to have all that stuff at that rapid pace, you got to have the finances to keep up with it. And we didn't. So my husband had to get out and work and get another job, and we were miserable. And you talk about the effects of debt on your mental health. I know that there are other people out there like we were. We weren't sleeping. We were arguing all the time. And I was just plain unhappy. So I found myself just in a very, very dark, low place, but it didn't look like it from the outside. Everybody, my family, everybody was so proud. They were saying, y'all have done it. Y'all have made it. And we're so proud of you. But behind closed doors, we were just barely making it. It's this saying, keeping your head above water. This ship was taking on water and taking on water fast. So, and I talk about this in my book. The very low point for me was going into the kitchen, getting ready to just prepare lunch for the next day for my child who was in private school, and we didn't have any bread. So I thought, hey, I'll let her eat at school. And I went to the computer to check the account because, private school lunches were expensive. I think they were almost $6. Her account was in the negative. Have you ever been in this place where today is Wednesday, there's no money there? So, I said, okay, let me just check our bank account. It was in the negative too. And I thought, and I was pregnant at the time, and it just hit me. Like, if this is it, this is what everybody is saying looks so good. I can't do this anymore. I cannot do this. A lot of people are in that position now. There's more month left and no money. And that was a lot of pressure. And that night I just fell on my knees and asked God, help us get out of this mess. I don't care what it looks like. I need to get out of here. This is not how I'm going to spend the rest of my life. And so that was our breaking point.
I'm listening to you, and I talked to my listeners at the beginning of my podcast about me starting a company, and it was great too. I got to travel. I had money in my account. If I wanted to do something, I could do it. I bought cars. I even paid cash for cars. I have always believed in being debt free. My mom raised me that way. She always said, look, have one credit card, which I don't believe in because I'm a Dave Ramsey guru, But I started this company, and I had an accountant, and she's going to be on the show too, but I had an accountant, and at the time I really didn't need that. It was just me. I didn't need a big firm to handle it. But I was just making money. They didn't care about the IRS. Who's the IRS? IRS. Who cares about the IRS? Okay, so, but
they
one
care
day
about you.
They care about me because guess what? They cared about my bank account
That's
when they came.
They care about.
and they said, hey, look, I'm going to take this. So one day I looked at my account and it was negative. And I was like, where's my money? Who took my money? But it was the IRS. So I know that feeling all too well, still walking and still trying to produce and still trying to go forward. So, we're going to go on a break. And when I come back, I want you to talk about the tools on how to get out of it. How to get, cause that's why you're part of my Fab Five. But before I go on break, I want you guys to know that, you can see me now on Periscope, and it's at Tanya Phenom. That's PHENOM. You can also find me on Facebook at Phenomenon. You can also go to www.morningbirdmedia.com, and I'm there. And you can also email me at phenomenon@morningbirdmedia.com. So we'll see you back in just a few seconds.
Phenomenon with Tonia will be back right after this.
Validar, Flames of Camelot, is the first installment of an epic trilogy that follows the exploits of this mythical warrior as he journeys through time and space. Available at TatePublishing.com.
Hi, this is Chance Glenn. The best way to support the show is to buy from Amazon.com through our website at morningbirdmedia.com. Everyone buys online these days, from school supplies to Christmas gifts, and everyone buys from Amazon.com. You can help us by clicking on the Amazon button on our webpage, then shopping as you normally do. There's no additional cost to do this, but a part of what you purchase goes towards helping the show. With it, we can keep this content coming the way you like it at morningbirdmedia.com.
Make your next event, workshop, or conference more powerful with improved networking for attendees and more useful analytics about those in attendance using Confab Analytics' new professional networking environment. Sign your event up with Confab Analytics and tailor our networking environment to suit your specific event. Your attendees simply download our free Confab app to their mobile device. Through the app, they are able to check in without waiting in line and can share key information electronically with fellow attendees. Using your custom Confab event portal, you can view and store analytics about your attendees, as well as send to them individually or as a group up-to-date information about everything going on at your event. They'll always know where the best networking opportunities are. By using Confab Analytics' professional networking environment, your attendees will have a better experience and be more likely to tell others about how good your event was. In turn, you'll have more meaningful data about your attendees so you can give them an even better experience next time. Confab maximizes your event by making you and your attendees part of the network and a whole lot more. For more information, visit confabanalytics.com or email sales@confabanalytics.com. Confab, connecting the most important part of the network, you.
The Morning Bird Media Network at morningbirdmedia.com.
Welcome back to Phenomenon. Now, here's Tonia.
Okay, welcome back. We are back with Miss Nakeetsha Dryer, the personal finance guru. And I am glad you listeners are here because Phenomenon is all about pushing you into the experience that you were created to be and who you're created to be. You know, my motto for the show is feel the fear and do it anyway. So today I'm kind of feeling a little bit of fear, you know, as I'm sitting close to the debt-free remedy lady, personal finances, because this is near and dear to my heart, and it should be near and dear to your heart. Because one of the things that I said that even before I enter into a marriage or any other kind of relationship, I wanted to be free financially. So Nakeetsha's going to give us some tools, and she's going to talk about where you can find her and all of that. But she's going to give us some tools on how to get out of debt.
Thank you, Tanya. As you said, you do need tools. You have to have the right tools in your tool bag. A lot of people are able to do this. I think everybody can do it. It's going to take some people a little longer than others. But the thing is, a lot of people are just overwhelmed and they don't know where to start. What do you do when you're overwhelmed? Nothing. Most people do nothing. So
I go to sleep.
That's nothing. Because you wake up and the symptoms of your situation are still there. So to give people the tools, I came up with a plan. It's called the Debt-Free Remedy. It's based on what I told you before about people wanting a remedy to their situation that has caused their depression or their hopelessness. And without addressing the issue, you're going to always have the symptoms. So I tell them, even when I have to write prescriptions, I said, this will help you to feel better, but I'm still going to need you to take actions on what is actually the problem.
Right. Wait, let me stop you there. So my question to you is when you write prescriptions for, I guess it would be depression or anxiety or things like that, would you say that solves the problem, or are you saying now that even if you take the prescriptions, there's something that's greater beyond that you have to do?
It depends on what it is. If the depression is a symptom of your financial situation, next week or a month when you come back, you may feel better. But if the situation hadn't changed, it's just going to be a temporary fix. I tell them, once you get to feeling better, let's address the problem. And that way we can get a permanent solution.
Now, wait, I'm just
okay.
This is exciting me because I'm thinking. I don't say that I'm a psychiatrist or whatever, but do you think that sometimes leads to addiction when you don't address the real problem? Like even in alcoholism, you know, people try to drown out their sorrows with,
absolutely,
you know, and so they keep doing it, or they keep drinking, they keep taking the pills, and would you say that would lead to addiction because they hadn't really got down to the really root of the problem?
Well, in my profession, I see a lot of that too. I deal with addiction. and people have not dealt with past hurts or pains, things like that. And when they're ready to talk about that, because I want to get to the root of the problem. When did the addiction start? When did you start drinking? A lot of times I find that a lot of it started when a problem or some assault or something happened from childhood that they've never told anyone, and this is the first time they're talking about it. So then we can uncover where the root of the pain is. But we're getting a little off topic with that.
I was like, okay, let's talk about some finances.
Yeah, but with the finances, some people have a spending addiction, and they spend to try to cover up the pain. Yeah, they spend to try to cover up the pain of what they're missing in their life. Whether it's relationships with your parents or relationships with others or how you feel about yourself. Sometimes we just waddle into debt carelessly. There are it's different for every person, but if you don't uncover it, it usually doesn't just go away.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have to start with the debt-free remedy. We start in the first phase with prepare.
Okay.
Preparing your mind. You have to prepare your mind. The Bible talks about being transformed by the renewing of your mind. So in the preparation phase, you're preparing your mind. You're preparing those around you. A lot of us found ourselves in debt because we feel indebted to our family. We call ourselves helping. But that helping is first. Enabling.
Oh, that's good.
I tell people about if you've ever flown, sometimes we drown out what the attendant is saying about if you're traveling with a child, please put on your oxygen mask first. And you wonder why she says that. Like, no, I'm going to take care of my child. But if you pass out, you can't help your child.
Right.
I talk about that in relation to finances. A lot of us, especially in our communities, we will give everything to help, quote unquote, our family and leave ourselves sinking. And you cannot be of long-term help to anybody if you're not in a position to help yourself.
Right.
Because then who's going to help you?
Right.
Who's going to help you? So I tell people to evaluate whether the helping is really helping. Sometimes we need to let people hit the bottom because that's what God wants. You're living in a situation that is not where you're supposed to be. And if I continue to put a cushion under you every time you fall, I tell people, are you really helping or are you stepping in the way of what God's trying to do in their life to awaken them so that they can get on the right path? So that's the first stage, is preparation. And the second phase is planning. We have to make a plan. The Bible talks about planning. Who builds a tower without first counting the cost? So I talk about making a spending plan, gathering your bills. A lot of people don't even know how much they owe. And you see one or two things. Either it's absolutely terrible when we put it on paper, or it's not that bad. I thought I was in bankruptcy, but really it's $15,000. I see where I can get out of that. The bottom line is, if you don't know, how can you just start?
Right.
I talk about net worth navigating, because in order to know where you're going, if you punch in the GPS, the address, like I did coming here, the first thing it's going to ask you is, what's your location? I can't tell you. The GPS can't even tell me where to go if it doesn't know where I am.
That's good, Keisha.
So in the planning phase, we got to figure out where we are so we can know where we want to go.
Good.
And then we get to, we prepare, we plan, and then we practice. You got to put in practice all these things. It is nothing. How many people have you met who've made a business plan and they've never done anything with it?
Oh, I know a lot of people.
Are they producing results?
Nada, zero.
Not any. You got to put into practice what you have put on paper. You got to practice it. And then that leads you to number 4. At that point, you should be producing some results. If you are not producing results, you got to go back to your plan.
That's good.
So, and once you've done that, you should be profiting. And we have to measure what profit is to us. Man, I measure profit now in a lot of different ways, not just money, but am I free in my mind?
Yes.
So that I can give back.
That's good.
So that I can teach people the principles. So that I can give. Am I open? Am I open now to whatever God's calling me to? Because I'm not stressed out. I'm not living check to check. Let me tell you, the stress of debt on your mental well-being, not sleeping. You know, some people say, I don't even want to talk to my friends when my bills are behind. I don't get out. I isolate myself, you know, and I understand that because not only have I lived it, I see it every day when people sit before me. And so when you get to that level, you should be profiting. And like I said, everybody measures profit a different way, but you'll be able to measure it. You'll know I am here and I used to be there. So those are the 5 steps to the debt-free remedy.
Oh, that's a good 5 steps. So number 1 is we're going to prepare. Then we're going to plan.
That's right.
Then we're going to practice.
That's it.
Then we're going to produce. And then we're ready for profit.
That's right.
I like that. I like it. I like it. I love it. I love it. Well, this was awesome. This is only part 1 because you're going to have to be a consistent guest on my show. Okay. Seriously, because we're dealing with some people that are in different stages of their life, you know. And so, you know, I have a six part, whatever you call the push, you know, for phenomenal, and I call it phenom. So number 1, P is professionalism. H is health, is whether it's your mental or your physical health. E is empowerment. And N is nirvana. A lot of people don't know what that is. It's a Buddhist term, but it's peace within. Then O is opportunity, and then M, you're on your mission. So as we go throughout the show, you know, we're going to continue to have guests on the show such as you, but you're going to be a consistent guest on my show. You're going to be the personal financial guru. But before we get off, I want you to tell them where they can find you, where they can get your book, all of that information.
Okay, great. So my book is You Can Be Free. The Remedy to Your Debt Starts With You. And you can find it on Amazon. You can get it in ebook or print form. You can find me on my website at networthnavigator.com. And you can also send me an email. I'd love to hear from you at networthnavigator@gmail.com. I also have a private Facebook group, Debt Free Remedy, where we discuss things that we've talked about today, share encouragement, tips about getting out of debt, things you can do as far as vacationing that doesn't cost a lot of money. So you can find me in those places. And of course, you can listen for me here on the Phenomenon Show.
That's right. I love you, Keisha. So again, you can find me at Phenomenon on Facebook. Go to www.morningbirdmedia.com. We even have an Amazon app on that page so that you can download Nakeetsha's book from that page directly. Also, remember that I am now on Periscope at Tonia Phenom. That's on Periscope, and Keisha's trying to give me a little insight on how to do that. But also, before we leave the show, you know what I want you to do? I want you to feel the fear and do it anyway. We'll talk to you soon.
This has been Phenomenon with Tonia. To learn more about the show, visit morningbirdmedia.com, or you can email at phenomenon@morningbirdmedia.com. Also, check out Facebook under Phenomenon. Come back and join Tonia as she helps you feel the fear and do it anyway.